Scratches! Today I'll tell you how to make a Mario game, episode 1. So, let's begin. So the first thing you want to do is name this new project. You want to name it Mario Game, episode 1. Okay. So, say hello to Mario over here. Say hello to him. So yeah. Okay. How about we how about we name our player Sprite? Okay, so let's move on. Okay, Scratches, welcome back to this section. So this section we are doing some coding. So the first thing you want to do is get a when going flag clicks block. Then you want to get a broadcast block out here. Like all my other tutorials, we are broadcasting our setup broadcast first of all. When I see setup, this is our main game setup, so we can backdrop it to other sprites in our game. For now, it's just a player, but later our tiles and lots more. When I receive setup, the first thing we always do is get a go to X block. How about we drag our player over to the left to the left side of our screen. Get a go to XY. We also want to make sure we are visible when the green flag is clicked, so as we see. Now we need to make our main game loop. I will broadcast a new message. Name it start loop. This will start our main game loop. When I save start loop, go to control and get our basic forever loop. Now you might be thinking, why is it not here? Well, because we're going to have a game loop, which is actually going to control game. The reason why we have a start loop is to when we start a loop up, we can do some stuff. So that's why I didn't put the forever loop over here, because then the whole block would be forever. But if I put it over here, it still works the same. When I see start loop, forever, broadcast game loop. After broadcasting game loop, we want to get a when I save stop loop. So when I save stop loop, we want to stop our main game loop for now. So to do that in Scratch, we get a stop other scripts in Sprite. For now, we won't be using this, but later when we die, we will be making use of this. Now to get our main game loop all ready and going. When I'll save our game loop script. When I'll save the game loop, we want to, first of all, check full player controls. Not do movement straight away. So we can say player check. We can say player controls to check our controls before we move. When I save player controls, we want to check for left and right arrow keys. So to do that, go to control with two if statements are in our player controls broadcast check. Then get a key space block for both. One will be right arrow and the other one will be left arrow. Now we are going to put our movement inside these scripts because this is a player check controls. So instead we're going to make a new custom block. Name it player movement. Name it player movement. With an input of X, another input of dir. Okay, so after having X and dir, we can press, don't tick that one about screen flash, and press OK. After that, bring your player movement into some free sprites. After that, bring the player movement script in both of these scripts, so we can activate that block whenever we need to. But what inputs do we pass in? Well, we want to put 19 here, and then left arrow put -90. For this, I will try out 10. That seems very good. And -10 in here. define movement. In here, we want to point in direction there. After putting it into the direction of there, we want to change it by X. So that's our movement script complete. What about testing it out? Why is he flipping upside down? Well, we haven't not yet declared our movement type. So set rotation style to left and right. What do we have there? Well, this gives us way better movement. As you see, we are getting way more effort in. Well, I think that's pretty good. There's only one thing I'm basically seeing. We don't have a background, we don't have a floor. Okay, so how about we go to our backdrop stage and call this backdrop sky. Because we need to have a sky before we do anything. I've only played Mario a couple times, so I'm pretty sure there are some clouds. But for now, let's just worry about the sky. I'm going to do a light blue with a saturation of 60, convert to bitmap, and then fill the whole entire screen. Convert back to bitmap. As you see, this is a shape, but just make sure it's in the center. Okay. Well, so how do we do our moving floor? Well, the floor is not actually in a backdrop. We actually need to make a new spot, name it floor, or you can also name it level, which I recommend you doing. Now, you need to make the floor. Now, since tiles will be coming next episode, so I'm just going to make a simple but cool floor of a purple spot. Nothing special, but this will definitely be changed. And make sure it is in snap to the center. Very important. Go back to code and drag it near our scratchy cat. Well, there's one thing I'm definitely seeing. How about we make this a bit thicker? Well, that's definitely a lot better. And a bit upwards too. Yeah. At that point, our fin looks pretty good. But let's do some setup scripts. But you remember we already have a setup script. When I see setup, go to that block. So, yeah, this is absolutely wonderful. One quick thing before we move on, I'm just going to get a show block here. Okay, we probably will need a game loop. So when I see game loop, get that out to the world. Okay, well, it's not actually our player that moves, it's actually the floor that moves. So go back to your player and discard this change X block. So all we have is point and direction, so we can't really move. You probably want it, okay, that sounds good, but I want to move. What are we doing? Well, how about we do some simple things before we move on to the next section, which is getting 2 if statements in our main game loop spot. We want to check for key right arrow and key left arrow. Well, that is definitely very useful. Now we can check if right arrow is pressed, that means we'll go that way, then we want to move it vice versa. So change X by -10. And for left arrow, we'll just change it by 10. Well, as you see, we're probably gonna get something. Well, it looks like our player's kind of moving, but our player's actually not moving. Well, how about we test with this with our player moving? Maybe it'll look a bit better. So get a change X block back out and put our X input back in. Testing it out now. Cool, maybe that looks absolutely better. So make sure that looks so much better. Make sure they're moving at the same speed as well. Well, I think that's good. Next section we will probably make this be infinite because for now it's just really sliding. But this is very good. But are you seeing it? Let's not go with what has happened over here? This is something called Scartch fencing, and there are some ways to fix it. which I will do being declaring next section. It's really sucks, Scratch fencing. It basically means we can't move our cat outside the box, which is very annoying. Well, good thing we have 2 sections to separate our tutorial, because if we didn't, then this probably would be very good. Let me check the time. We are up a whopping 10 minutes. So before I end, let's do one more thing. Make 2 new variables. I'll delete that old one too. Naming it Player X for all sprites and Player Y. For now, I got used to for naming all my 4 sprites or capitals, and make sure this one is 4 sprites too. Okay. Now where do we put this in? Our game loop would be the one to do. Get another broadcast just under our play controls. Broadcast a new message, naming it Other Data. Okay. Move that to some free space. And I'll get a when I'll save Other Data. Set Player X and set Player Y to our X position and a Y position from the motion section. So our X position and our Y position. How about we also make a dir variable too? Dir for direction for sprites too. And set dir to direction. To direction. Okay, so testing it out now. Oh yeah, this is wonderful. Well, we're stuck on the stage, which I can't do much about. We are stuck on the stage, so we can't move past the boundary even if we press it. Even though it's moving, setting our X to X position, this won't change anymore. So we'll have to probably do that next episode. Well, guys, this will be the end of this section. So, let's move on to the next section. Okay, Scratchers, welcome back to the next section of this tutorial. This section, we're going to make this scrolling infinite. So, the first thing we want to do, we want to see where so we want to see what way, because we'll move it this way, we want to check different controls, and if we'll move it this way, we want to check different controls. So the first thing we need to do is make a new variable, naming it left or right. And make sure you do put a question mark, and make sure you leave that for all sprites. Press OK. Got to our when I'll see setup script. Get a set, left or right, set it to the empty value. After that, scroll to your play control script. We want to edit this play movement. So right click on it and press edit. Make a new input. You want to name it left or left with a, let's go a / and right. Keep everything the same. Okay, now we have that new empty input. Now what do we fill there? Well, right arrow is clicked. We want to fill left and play and right for left. So opposite of each other. Now here, we can set left or right to the left and right input. Testing that out now. Left, right, yes, this is wonderful. So this is going to the left, this is going to the right. So it should be opposite to our play movement. If it is, then we can move on to the next step. This tutorial will be very easy to follow. Okay, so let's duplicate our floor sprite. Make this floor 2. How about we name this floor filler, so we can fill in those other spaces. For now, we can remove this, go to X block. Well, not delete it, but just put it out there. So, same thing. Yeah, it does move with it, but yeah, that should be good. Well, how about we disable that for now until we can further test this. Let's also hide it. Let's also hide it so we don't currently see it. That's the exact same thing. Well, press a green flag. Wait until we go this way. So as you see, we have this little bit showing. Well, this is where we may show it. So, go into your game loop sprite. How about we press this pause button up here? If you don't have it, you can download Scartch's extensions or just press the stop button. Get an equal sign. We want to test if the X position of our normal floor, so if our, we should go to our floor. If the X position of floor equals 53, maybe a bit bigger, a bit smaller actually, for this case. If smaller than 50, it's smaller than 53, then we want to get this, do some of this. So the first thing we need to do is get this show block out to show it. Not there. Well, not there. Actually, we want it to go over here. Wait. Here, we want it to be leveled with that. So we want to go to this X and Y to be exact. Well, let's test that out. Click that green flag. Yeah, so as you see, the only thing I'm seeing, when it's left, we do this. So how about that will be the same thing? We only want to check these controls if, our left or Y equals left. That variable is already set in our player sprites. Oh, and I'm pretty sure it has no capitals. Well, same thing here. Well, how about we do a proper test? Well, yes. Everything is going good. Everything is going amazing. Well, how about we get another if statement out? This time checking for our white controls. Talking about white, we can probably leave these out of this main script for now. If duplicate this if left to right, but instead of checking for what left, we want to check for white. Wonderful. Now what do we do though? Well, first of all, we obviously want to show this costume. So, show. Second of all, we probably should move out. So here. Around here. That's where our stuff is. Oh, replay. What has happened here? Well, yeah, that is way better. Yep, over here. Okay. Now, first of all, we want to check. We obviously want to check first if our X position, well, not just our X position of this floor filler, our X position of our normal floor. So to do that, we can get a of block here and the X position of it. We want to check if it up. We want to check if our X position is less than negative 98, which is always less than this number over. It's always bigger than this number. Make sure it's bigger than the number down in your X section, so I can change it up. So I could change it up to if it's Okay. The exposition of floor is, here. It is 49. Which is this one, I think. So exposition is, let's just go, we go, if it's bigger than, our floor smart, bigger than 49, then drag the exposition of floor there, here. Now we will move this over here. Now we would want to go to this section. So to do that here, we can broadcast a new message saying, go there. Say go there. Okay, time to test that out. Go back to your floor sprite. Okay, where do we have it here? Here. When I was safe, we want to check for our go there script. And if it is, we can go to the new found X and Y. Testing it out again. One thing I am seeing, how maybe we should move this second script a tiny bit more over. So to do that, we will go XY when we start off the script. Replace this with our new and improved one. Well, we can test it out. What has happened here? Yeah, that's it. Oops. What has happened? How about we... Well, I'm not even moving this. What? Yeah, it's just a bug. That seems to be working all fine. But, yeah. If it's... We want to check if floor filter... No, I mean floor... So we can go to a floor filter here. Okay. So if exposition... If exposition of floor... Yeah, over here. So if it's our X is minus 54, so that would be smaller than minus 54. Then we want to get this spot and drag it over here. Well, oh yeah, okay, that would be a bit tight. Okay, there we go. Now we can go to here. Well, time to test that out. Okay. Where's our main script here? So if exposition is less than minus 51. Now let's test it out. Yeah, there's a couple bugs with this, but I think it's all pretty good. Well, how about we use our play sprites instead? Okay, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that is pretty good. That one is all good. Okay, so now we have infinite scrolling. We probably would need another one over here though. So how about we do that next episode where we're going to add our tiles. Hope you did like this. Hope you did like this tutorial. If you did, make sure you subscribe for more great tutorials. Okay, see you next time, Scratchers. Goodbye, Scratchers.